I mean, we didn't come up with the result, but you know, all in all, they were present in the entire race. They rode in the front. I mean, you know, one minor goof up with Johan going into the barrier, but you know, I mean, Sepp is a rising classic star, but he's not, you know, fully mature yet, and so you can see, you know, he could make it to 240K, but not 260, and you know, that'll come with time and a little bit of maturity, and but you know, this year it was just he's just still a little bit too green.
The Cancellara crash, which impact did it have on the race? I
think it had probably a pretty big impact because you know the race was sort of hesitant after he crashed. You know, there wasn't somebody that was really forcing on the climbs until all the way at the end. You know, I think if Cancellara had been in the race, it might have split earlier on, and then, you know, become even a more attritious race. I mean, but we'll never know.
You said on Twitter that you have a bigger, greater classic team this year than last year. For us in Norway, it's a little bit strange since Tourism's left. Can you explain that for us?
Oh, I mean, I think we do have a better classics team than we did last year. You know, we've only proven that in Het Nieuwsblad and not here, and you know, not in Gent-Wevelgem, but we have Roubaix in front of us. But yeah, I mean, that's my feeling. I mean, I have a lot of faith in Sepp, and I have a lot of faith in Johan, and you know, and the rest of the guys are working out really well. I mean, we're a little bit weakened by the fact that David Miller and Ramunas aren't around, but you know, but all in all, I'm really pleased with the team this year.
Kuson's reply was that they don't have a better team.
Okay.
How is the relationship between you and Tourism?
I don't know. I mean, fine.
Sepp came up a little bit short today in terms of distance. Does that mean you'll change tactics slightly with Roubaix for next week?
Well, I mean, Roubaix, our tactics would have always been the same. I mean, you know, obviously we've got the defending champion, so you know, Johan will be a protected rider, but Johan was a protected rider today as well. Just, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see with Sepp. I mean, last year he actually did okay on the distance at Roubaix. Here, obviously, he was a little bit short. But you know, it's hard to tell. He's a young rider, and he's up and down, and that's pretty normal for his age.
You said about Johan being a protected rider. I mean, last year that was his strength, that he wasn't a protected rider, and that, you know, he got a little bit of a gap. So, in one sense, is there a disadvantage this year that he's going to be protected?
We got a little bit of gap where?
Well, he got away in a break last year.
In what race?
Sorry, Johan. In Roubaix.
Oh, in Roubaix. Johan, I thought you were talking about Sepp.
No, I think
that's the reason I was confused. Yeah, I mean, no, obviously it's going to be more difficult for Johan to sneak away in a breakaway this year, clearly. But, you know, people maybe forget that he's finished in the top 10 2 or 3 times before he won it. So, you know, I think with Sepp and with Johan, we've got a good team for Roubaix. Roubaix is always the classic that's most suited to our team because, you know, we aren't always the strongest team, but we usually play tactics fairly intelligently, and since Roubaix is a flat race, then you can play more dynamic tactics than you can in a race like this, where it's just, you know, came down to horsepower, and you know, the best guy won.